Hi friends, this is Krish the Urban Naxal. Friends, I am giving you an update in English about our court cases. As you know, RUNWAL Builder has filed 2 court cases against us. Mainly, so one is in the civil court and another is in the criminal court. This is because of the videos we make exposing the malpractices, the business malpractices, the white collar crime that is being committed by builders. Just for the benefit of my new subscribers, in case any of them is listening, the white collar crime that builders are fond of committing here in Mumbai in India is that the builders basically call a prospective buyer to their office, lure them to their office and kind of convince them, pressure them, offer them all kind of inducements to swipe a token amount. It will be a biggish amount like 70,000 rupees or 100,000 rupees, which we call 1 lakh rupees. Sometimes even more than that, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. They get you to swipe a token in haste without fully understanding what you are doing and what can be the consequences of what you are doing. Now, the reason you would swipe a token would be to book a flat, usually an under construction flat, which they dress up to look very attractive. It isn't. It's a fraud. It's not as attractive as it is made out to be. They dress up the deal to look more attractive than it actually is. They promise all kinds of things verbally which are not there in writing in the agreement. The agreement is full of tricks and is full of lots of clauses which the common man will not understand, and as a consequence of this kind of thing, a lot of people, lot of prospective flat buyers later on change their mind. They are not able to go through with the deal because they have been misinformed in the first place. And because of that, then the builder says, I'm not going to refund your money. Often the builder will have collected money saying it is token amount or booking amount, but also he would have collected money towards taxes, towards GST, towards stamp duty and registration, and all that. He will say, I am forfeiting this entire amount. Now, the basic principle of the law in terms of forfeits is that no businessman can forfeit your amount unless he has entered into some kind of a contract with you. A transaction is only a transaction if there is a contractual agreement between you and the person selling whatever it is. There is no contract with the buyer. The builders create some paperwork which creates an illusion in the mind of the buyer that he is entering into a contract. There is no real contract. So the builder basically gets free money. Now there are many builders, and we have made videos about many builders, about Godrej, very well known brand, huge brand, but indulging in the same kind of trickery, financial trickery. We've talked about Lodha builders, and we have talked about RUNWAL. We have talked about so many other builders as well. Now these builders basically have created in the public mind the impression that that money which is given to them belongs to them. Now that is a false impression. The courts are very clear about it. There is a forum called RERA, very clear that such money should be refunded entirely to the flat buyer unless and until there is a registered agreement. There is no transaction, and token amounts, booking amounts, etc., whatever it is, should be refunded to the last rupee. But they don't do this. Now we made videos about this builder named RUNWAL, and based on so many victims and their stories and their communication with RUNWAL, email communication with RUNWAL, where basically RUNWAL says, now get lost, I am taking away your money. You don't get a flat, you don't get money, you don't get anything. You lost your money. We made stories about this, we made videos about this, and we continue to make such videos. So this builder, which the company's name is Horizon Projects Private Limited, so they sued us in court. They filed a civil and a criminal case with police as well as a civil case. The civil case hearing was on 1st of April. I mean, there have been so many ineffective hearings before that. For several months it has been dragging on and on. We have this expression called tariq pe tariq, which means one date after another. The court keeps giving you a date, but nothing happens. No hearing happens. It's just a date. It's a court date. Amounts to a lot of harassment to people, but then what to do? That's how courts function. So RUNWAL Builder has filed a case against us. I am appearing as party in person on my own behalf, and I'm not exactly appearing on behalf of the other three defendants, but what I say, because I'm the guy who publishes the videos, they are the victims of RUNWAL Builder, and they have lost 4.4 lakhs, that is 400,000 and then some. Another guy has lost nearly 700,000, 6.7 lakhs rupees because of this malpractice, this criminal white collar crime. So spoke to the judge, had a long description of this whole phenomenon. The builder basically is dragging us to court. He knows that he doesn't have a case. He doesn't have a legitimate case. He knows it. The way the case is written also reveals that he knows it. So lawyers are able to make things appear like they have substance when actually there is no substance in the case. They know it. And sometimes even the judge knows it. But what to do? Because these lawyers are regulars in court and they are highly paid lawyers. They have a reputation. So the judges tend to indulge these company lawyers, give them more time than they deserve, give them a longer rope than they deserve, even though at the end they may often give the proper verdict. But because of the amount of time and indulgence that they give these lawyers, because of what we call their face value, they are often able to prevail over less powerful litigants like us. So a lot of this discussion happened in court. The lawyer on the other side, the lawyer representing RUNWAL, one Mr. P.D. Gandhi, tried to sort of influence the court, shout me down, whereas I patiently let him finish whatever he had to say in court. But he tries to shout me down, unsuccessfully I may add, because I shouted him down. I said, if the judge wants to tell me to not talk about something, then he will tell me, why are you yelling at me? And then I told the judge, please tell him to keep quiet, please discipline him. Well, the judge just kept quiet through the whole shouting match, which went on for about a minute. Anyway, long story short, I'm happy to say that the judge heard us, and this is in civil court, the chief judge of the civil court, courtroom number 1 in Mumbai, civil court. He heard us patiently, he heard me also patiently, and I explained to him why the case deserves to be dismissed with costs, and the money should be given to these people. They're basically slum dwellers. One guy is a gym instructor, one guy is a goldsmith artisan. But when you say the word gold, you may think that he is wealthy. No, goldsmiths can be very poor. So goldsmith artisans who do these little works, they're really quite poor. They're very ordinary people. They live in slums. So a gym instructor, a goldsmith artisan, and a coaching classes guy, small time sort of chap. And these are the people whose life savings RUNWAL has taken away without a contract. I keep stressing this, without any contract. It's a completely unlawful act, but it is disguised as a lawful action because they use the word forfeit, because they take this person's signature on an application form. An application form is not a contract, but they take a signature on this application form and say, I agree that if I don't go forward with the payment, then the builder will forfeit my money, and this kind of thing. It's unlawful because you can practically pressure any common man to sign anything. He will sign anything because he is not aware of his rights. He is not aware of the position of the law. Builders should know better. They are informed, they are advised by lawyers. Highly paid lawyers, I may add. They are advised. But instead of those highly paid lawyers advising them to not do these things, the highly paid lawyers advise them on how they can do these things, basically white collar crime, and get away with it. And prosecute someone. There is this word that is used for such cases that's called a Slapp case, strategic lawsuit against public participation. The meaning of Slapp case, strategic lawsuit against public participation, is that you basically intimidate someone. You file a case and then file a case on top of that and drag it out so much that the other party gets scared. People get scared of as they said, public participation. The public gets scared of participating in the issue, and it eventually shuts them down. People are silenced, and I can see that happening totally. There are a lot of people who want to speak up, but now they are afraid because they fear that RUNWAL will file a case against them, and the case will drag out in courts. Now the thing about courts is, it's business as usual. So they will give you a date every month, goes on and on, adjourned, very frequently adjourned for some reason or the other. So I explained to the judge, I said, see, these guys are basically using this case to drag it out, and they are adding to the case. The main point of this case was something called a chamber summons for adding further material to the case. Now I said there will always be new material because these guys are always taking people's money. Ask them how much money they have taken, forfeited. From whom? How many people? Because they are forfeiting, I would reckon, a dozen or so tokens every week. Adds up to, I think, a few hundred people every year, maybe more. Each one of them they are forfeiting. Forfeiting is basically confiscating. They are not forfeiting it. It's confiscating people's money. It's taking away people's money unlawfully, without a contract, without giving them anything in return. Huge amounts, amounting to the life savings of some people. So I explained all this to the judge, explained the public interest part of it, explained why he should dismiss this case with heavy cost on RUNWAL. These guys were trying to provoke, Mr. P.D. Gandhi was trying to provoke the judge by saying, I am committing contempt of court, by explaining to you guys what is the court proceeding. I said, well, if it is a contempt of court, then please initiate separate court proceedings for contempt of court. I am pretty sure I have not committed contempt of court. I am pretty sure there is no law that prevents us from speaking about the court proceedings and explaining to the people, keeping them abreast of what's going on. I'm a journalist. I'm needed to explain to people. Anyway, the judge did not take the bait of this Mr. P.D. Gandhi. He didn't rise to the bait, as they say. He was silent, judicious, and at the end of it, he said he is going to pass an order, a suitable order, on 25th of April. So, about 23 days from today. So, hopefully, I'm going to give you some good news on 25th of April. Hopefully, I will be able to tell you that there was some progress. I don't expect it to be. It could be a strong verdict in our favor, but we'll have to wait and watch, because courts can always spring surprises at you. So you can never be too sure until the verdict actually comes in. So we are waiting for a verdict on the RUNWAL case, civil case. Meanwhile, on the 7th, the police case, we have sought anticipatory bail because the police has filed a false FIR against us. And in the police case, we have sought anticipatory bail, and that hearing is going on. So on April 7, our lawyer, Mr. Sushant Walimbe, is appearing, and I'll keep you posted on what happens in that case also. So civil case and criminal case and all that fighting is part of my job. I'm your friend, Krish the Urban Naxal. Jai Maharashtra, Jai Hind, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Stay safe.